Hello my dear students, welcome to part 2 of lecture series of numerical integration. So in the last lecture we had studied trapezoidal rule. Now in this lecture we will cover Simpson's 1/3 rule and Simpson's 3/8 rule. So just like the previous formula, we consider the definite integral a to b fx dx, which can be solved numerically using Simpson's 1/3 rule. So what is Simpson's 1/3 rule? It is the integration definite integral a to b fx dx is given as h by 3 bracket into on the bracket y0 plus yn bracket complete plus, now you need to remember this, 2 times some terms of y plus 4 times some terms of y. So 2 times which terms? 2 times the terms of y where this number is a multiple of 2. Okay, even numbers. So therefore y0 plus yn plus 2 times y2 plus y4 plus, if we have one more term, then y6 etc. up to the last value of y, which is the multiple of 2. Okay, plus 4 times y1 y3 y5, if we have y5, sorry, yeah, so this will go on until the last value of y where the number here is an odd number. So the formula can be easily written in a short form, that is h by 3 capital X, where x is sum of the extreme ordinates, plus 2 times capital E, where what is capital E? Capital E is the even ordinates, that is y2, y4, y6 etc. plus 4 times O, capital O, and what is capital O? That is the sum of the odd ordinates, that is y1, y3, y5 etc. So this is the Simpson's 1/3 rule. Again, let us recall what was h. H was the length of the interval, which is also the difference between the consecutive values of x. It can be also calculated using these formula. Suppose h is not given and suppose number of intervals are given. So what are basically number of intervals? So as I told you in the last lecture that x values suppose are given and corresponding y values are given. So it will be, if it is given in the tabular form, there will be values like x0, x1 etc. up to xn. So x0 to x1 is first interval, x1 to x2 is second interval, and so on up to the last value of x. So these intervals, the total number of intervals is nothing but n. Okay, so we will talk about this more when we come across an example. Now these are all the exhaustive letters, because now when we come across the examples, we will know whether each of this is given. So a and b will definitely be given. X not given, then you can calculate x. If x is given, y is not given, you can calculate y using fxi, the given function. So in a similar way, whatever is not given can be calculated. Okay, so this was Simpson's 1/3 rule. Let us go to now Simpson's 3/8 rule. So Simpson's 3/8 rule is given by integral definite integral a to b fx dx can be calculated as 3 by h upon 8. So you can see that in trapezoidal rule it was h by 2, in Simpson's 1/3 rule it was 1 by 3, and in 3/8 rule it is 3h by 8. So all these numbers that we are talking about are multiples of h. Okay, that way you can remember the formula. So here what is the difference? Here, see, in all the formulas this bracket is same, y0 plus yn is same in all the formulas, only these values change. Okay, so what do we have here now? So we have 2 times the bracket y3, y6 etc. So you can, if you can notice, the subscript of y is 3, 6, this will be y9 etc. So that means the subscripts of y, whenever it is a multiple of 3, will be taken together and multiplied with 2. Okay, and this is called as the term T. So what is capital T? Capital T is the sum of the terms of ordinates which are multiples of 3. So that means y6, y3, y6, y9, y12, etc. If there is y9, y12 present. Okay, plus 3 times the remaining ordinates. So what are the remaining ordinates? Y0 is gone, y3 is gone, so y1 is there, y2 is there, so y1 plus y2, y3 is gone, so y4 plus y5, y6 is gone, so y7 plus y8, and so on. Okay, it depends on how many values of y you have. So this is the Simpson's 3/8 rule. Shortcut formula is given as 3h by 8, capital X plus 2 times capital T plus 3 times capital R. So what is X? X is the sum of the extreme ordinates. T, sum of the term of the ordinates which are multiples of 3. Capital R, sum of the remaining ordinates. Okay. So these are the three formulas. Now let us. I want you to pause the video, and I want you to write down the Simpson's 1/3 rule and 3/8 rule 5 times. And while you write it, please read it along, because this is the way which you can remember the formula easily. So if you do this 3-4 times, maybe now next 2-3 days, if you write these formulas 5 times, you will remember them easily. And once you start solving example, definitely that will be one more practice. So as promised, I tried to make this lecture easy and for you to understand this concept or how to solve easily. I'm giving you the algorithm for solving numerical integration examples. So algorithm is nothing but it's like a computer program. You just follow step 1, step 2, step 3, etc. And so you take an example, go to step 1, check whatever is given, follow the steps, and then you can solve. Okay, so step number 1. What is step number 1? Write down the given values of. Okay, so as we have seen earlier in the given example, a, b will be given because normally the definite integral is going to be given to you. So b will be given. Suppose in some cases a and b is not given, then you take a and b as interval 0 to 1. Okay, so a will be 0, b will be 1 if not given. Then you write down what is fx, what is the function given. So if you are lucky and if your example consists of x and y values already given to you, so that means fx won't be given to you, only the table will be given. We'll come across the example, then I will explain what I mean by this. So in that table, x values, y values will be already given to you. You just note down those values. Okay. Now third, if y values are not given, let me go back. Suppose y values are given, then you can denote these y values as y0, y1, etc. up to yn. Suppose y values are not given, then we need to calculate all the yi, that is equal to fxi values, using the xi values. Again, suppose x values are given, you can just calculate using the function the y values. Suppose x is not given, then what do? Then we calculate x values. So as I told you that x0 is this value, first value of the integral, the limit of the integral 0. So that is x0. So when x0 is given, so suppose I is 0, this will be x0. This will be 0 plus 1, so this will be x1. So this is x0 plus h is going to be x1. So as I told you earlier, what is h? H is the difference between the consecutive values of x. So therefore h is x1 minus x0. So whenever I is 0, this is going to be x0 plus h is going to be x1. Okay. So using this formula, you can calculate the values of x. N is the number of intervals as mentioned earlier. Take n equal to 6 if not mentioned. If h is not given, if you cannot make out what is h, you can calculate h using the formula b minus a upon n. Write down the appropriate numerical integration formula, that is either trapezoidal, Simpson's 1/3 or Simpson's 3/8. Substitute the values in the respective formula, and step 5 is to evaluate the final integral by using the corresponding method. So that is it for today's lecture. Thank you.